you can come to me for honesty. Of February is going to be my big tips fundraising special marathon event. Why am I doing this event? Because I need to raise money to pay to have my taxes filed this year. Normally, this is something that I can finance over the course of the year, but because I just declared bankruptcy, because I filed for bankruptcy, my tax attorney is telling me, sadly, I have to pay him up front, which sucks. It's unexpected. I don't have the money for it. I need to raise the money for it. But yeah, my company is not bankrupt. My business is not bankrupt. My business is doing well. It's profitable. The problem is all the profit gets sucked up by this insane amount of unsecured personal debt that I have. And and also, quite frankly, the condo in Connecticut that I have not been able to rent or get rid of. So all that's going on, and any money that I make immediately gets sucked to creditors. So I've been busting my ass for years, right? Putting out all these streams for you guys and actually making great money doing it, and immediately all the money gets pissed away because I have to legally pay all these people. That's been the problem, okay? So that's the difference. You know, my company is not going bankrupt. I am. There's a big difference and a big legal difference there. But the thing is, you don't understand that because you don't understand the law. You don't understand how business works, okay? You don't understand anything. All you do is you listen to a bunch of dumb shitheads on YouTube who make fun of me to make money and have no actual knowledge of anything, how anything works. In fact, they probably can't even get their own lives in fucking order, but they have to realize that this is a gravy train for them to make fun of me, so they just make shit up constantly. To me, $2.30 asking if I've seen the Down That Rabbit Hole documentary. No. At this point, first of all, I believe that documentary is pretty outdated. Like, isn't it like 3 or 4 years old? I think it's pretty old. I could be wrong, but I swear it's at least a few years old. But no, I've never seen it. I don't watch that stuff.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
What are your thoughts on Dr. Disrespect hitting 4 billion followers? I don't give a fuck. I don't care if he hits 4 zillion followers. All right? By the way, I doubt he hit 4 billion followers. I don't think anyone, even on YouTube, isn't the highest like a certain amount of million? How you hit 1 billion followers? 4 billion. Isn't that like the population of Earth? Every person on Earth is following Dr. Disrespect. Well, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. It's like pure salt. All you could taste was salt. I'm definitely not doing anything charity. As I've said, you know, anything that I do is not considered charity. If you donate, it is not charity. It is tipping. Different. Categorized differently. You know, it's a different kind of income. I pay taxes on it very differently than charitable donations, okay? That's not how this is. Just a reminder, guys, if you are going to contribute tonight, if you can tip me, please do. I really need the help with tips right now. Do I still drink alcohol? Every once in a while, I still drink alcohol. Rarely every once in a while, if I'm out, I'll have like a beer or something. Or maybe if it's like happy hour and it's cheap, I'll get like a mixed drink. Every once in a while, I'll have a drink at home. Sometimes it'll be like just, you know, a little gin and tonic or something. Yeah, every once in a while.
The fat man demands a beer.
An anonymous sub gifter gifted a sub to Lightside Bill. So congratulations, Lightside Bill. Frog Chin, cheers to Dark Souls winning your Twitter poll. You mean the Twitter poll that I randomly set up last week with a straw poll, and then I talked to people about it on the stream the next day, and the Twitter poll was defunct. I don't care about it. I just don't know how to close a straw poll. Yeah, I don't care. Cody Carlson, you went back at the end of PlayStation home servers. What's the difference with Call of Duty? The difference with Call of Duty is that every Call of Duty subsequently makes the last one outdated to the point where I don't care to go back and play those games again. I only played them when they were new releases. I'm not caring. That would be like saying, you know, you're playing Madden 2020. Why don't you go back and play Madden, you know, 2016? It's like, what? Why would I do that? The new Madden is out with all the improvements and all the new gameplay mechanics and everything. Why would I go back to a previous Madden to play it, right? It's kind of a weird thing. I wouldn't do that. As soon as you fire your gun, you die no matter what. You will die. There's no way to survive. Because people know where you are and flank you. The maps are fucking terrible. The maps are absolutely fucking terrible maps. Huh? That didn't even make sense. He ran out. I started firing. It came out late. The auto aim moved me away from the guy who was in front of me, so I missed all my shots, and then a bomb hits me. What the fuck? That was like the perfect storm of nonsense and terrible FPS gameplay right there. I like to build a bridge. I build the whole fucking bridge by myself. I build a bridge, build a bridge, build a bridge, to build a bridge. I like to build this bridge across the bridge. Here we go, the bridge. I build the bridge. Holy shit.
You're needed at 8.
You're a grown-ass man asking your audience in wheelchairs for
Oh my
money,
god.
bro.
Alright, here we
It's
go.
a fucking job.
Here we go.
You've been begging. You always got some sort of.
Blah 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 blah. If you got me Xbox Live credits, then I would do it. Absolutely, Philly Buckeye. You can get those. You can get me the Xbox Live credits on my Amazon wish list. It's there right now. You could buy them and just send me an email with the code numbers. And I would appreciate that. If you wanted to get me Mass Effect 2 and DLCs, sounds good to me. Tip me $1 and says, are you worried at all about catching the Chinese flu? No, I'm not. I have all the actual real life shit to worry about in my life. I'm not worried about the Chinese fucking flu. That was what, $2 more of tips, but I don't remember what the tips were at. Shit. I'll just say 45. I could be completely off, guys. I'm sorry, I was deleting it. I completely forgot what it said. So I think we're around $45 in tips, I think. Salty Cracker still talking about the Chinese flu. Thank you very much, Salty Cracker, for the $1 tip. I appreciate that, but I'm not reading this anymore about your stupid Chinese flu. Alright, you know what I just realized? I'm so stupid, guys.
No shit.
Oh. Is this, I mean, this could easily be an insult, like a veiled insult. This could just be, I don't know what this is. It's a $15 tip from someone who seems like they may have some problems in the head, but it's still a tip nonetheless, and I should be grateful. That's a meme. It's a detractor meme. The detractor meme is that, oh, Phil's, people who contribute to Phil are pigs. That they would keep contributing to Phil, and, you know, because Phil's a horrendous, evil, vile person. And anyone who would contribute to him is obviously a moron who's supporting his, you know, his life, and you shouldn't do that, and blah, blah, blah. You know, all their complete stupidity and horseshit. So, whenever they say anything about pig or piggy or pay piggy or king piggy, they're just insulting me, insulting my viewers. It's fucked up. It's just, why do the detractors say you're a pig roach? You don't look like a pig or a roach. I don't know. I don't know what that means. That's one of their memes. I don't actually know what it means at all.
There's these people who just hate my guts that how is Phil still surviving? How is he still able to be here in 2018 and still be pertinent and still have an audience, you know?
I'm having a complete brain fart. You know, this whole wild thing with trolls harassing the fuck out of me started with a viral movement called This Is How You Don't Play. If you really look at the situation, right? Other people who have trolls on their ass all the time, usually the reason this happened is because of, like, repeated, rampant, bad behavior. Like, you can look at other people, I'm not going to name names, you know who we're talking about, okay? But they've done ridiculous things. Blatantly lied to and cheated their audiences with documented evidence, sometimes even admitting it. Doing ridiculous, over-the-top, racist things. Raging and insulting against viewers regularly or players on the internet regularly. You know what I mean? Like, you see, here's a montage of insanely bad behavior by these guys. Dude, did you look at the fucking mirror, you stupid muppet? Me, the reason that people hate me, or started hating me, is because my gameplay was unedited and I would not take it seriously, and instead I would just make stupid, over-the-top, dumb jokes. And I pissed off the wrong people when it came to certain game devs, like Kojima, that I was insulting in my commentary. And it seemed like that became the reason. Let's make Phil the target of all of our ire by making these crazy This Is How You Don't Play videos that would go viral. And the videos went viral. These people got insane views and insane popularity after making these stupid montages. You know? It's like my situation is completely different than I think the other people who are kind of in my position. It's very unique. At the same time, my whole existence is very unique on YouTube. And, you know, it's a fluke that it even happened. It wasn't anything that I had planned. It wasn't anything that I had worked for. And all that's happened is that this crazy viral thing that happened on YouTube as like a fluke exploded and personally ended up hurting me in a hugely uncalculated way, to the point where now my life is all fucked up and I'm declaring bankruptcy and everything, you know? It really sucks.
I would never be in the situation I'm in right now financially if it weren't for the trolls completely destroying my YouTube business.
Well, PW Dubs to me dollar says, thanks for being a great father figure to me, dude. I'm not a father figure at all. I'm not a dad. I don't plan to be. There was no track record of anyone being popular on the internet and having experience doing what I was doing. I was one of the first guys doing it. There is a kid, and by the way, I'm not going to give you any names or anything specific or anything here, okay? I'm not going to do that. But there was a kid who was a fan of mine back in the day, and he actually met me in real life. We spent some time together. We hung out at one of the conventions that I had attended, and, you know, I signed some of his stuff. He was a really nice kid. Now, he was younger. I would say probably he was in his teens, maybe early 20s, but I think he was in his teens when I met him, okay? And really nice case. I love your content. You know, I love everything you do on YouTube or whatever. Genuinely a fan and everything, okay? Now, after that convention, that kid went home and said, you know, I'd like, you know, could I maybe moderate for you? And he actually moderated for me for a while and did some stuff, you know, as a volunteer for a little bit, which was very nice of him, okay? Out of his, the kindness of his own heart or whatever. All of a sudden, I find out this kid hates my guts. Now, keep in mind, I haven't had any interaction with this kid since I met him in person, and he offered later on to be a moderator for me, and he had been an on or off moderator for me, and then he disappeared. So we're talking 2-3 years later since I never heard from this kid. He apparently hates my guts. He apparently he talks about me on social media all the time, riffing on me, making fun of me, insulting me and my family, and he's regular in detractor circles and all that, and I'm like, so what happened? Because here's the thing. Did I have anything to do with it? No. I don't even know what happened. I had lost contact with the kid. The kid had stopped coming to my stream, stopped watching my content. To my understanding, what he told me was that he wasn't going to be able to actively watch my stuff or attend my streams anymore because his life was getting very busy. Like, he had personal stuff going on in his life. Something with his parents had a store, and he was getting older, so his parents were telling him that they had to help him run the store and stuff like that. So, okay, I understand that. Not a big deal. I never asked that you be at every stream or or look at every comments of every video or whatever. I never asked that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're busy with life, you don't have to moderate for me anymore. That's fine. And then, you know, not having contact with him for years and years, and then all of a sudden finding out now this guy hates my guts. Now this guy literally, you know, thinks he calls me a scumbag and all this. I'm like, now wait a minute. I haven't talked with you. You have no reason to feel that way unless you just got caught up with so much crap and so much negativity about me on the internet. You used to actually genuinely watch my content and love it, right? And now, apparently you hate it. Like, what I didn't change. In fact, I didn't have no direct contact with this guy that he would just start hating on me. But it seems like that was a thing that happened with a lot of people. At one point, when it was popular to like Darkside Phil on YouTube, when Phil was the underdog, oh man, he's the independent content creator who, you know, strive to do things differently. He doesn't have sponsors. He doesn't have a team up with nobody. He's not on a team. He's not a professional. He just every day sits down like us and plays games and has fun. He's the genuine guy sharing his gameplay experiences, and he's irreverent, and he's over the top with his commentary, and he does all this stuff. That's how I got popular on YouTube. I was like the underdog guy, and people always had my back. It's like all of a sudden, somehow it just mob mentality, right? This weird kind of getting caught up in these viral movements. Now just hate on Phil. It's like, but why? Why really? And that's the funny thing that I've always noticed is when you really ask people why don't they like me, there's no quick consensus. It's the generic meme shit. Oh, he's a scammer. Oh, he did this horrible thing. He insults his fans. Like, but wait a minute. Can you actually call out like definitive segments of things that there's proof of what you're saying? And they'll just bring up the conspiracy theories. They'll bring up the shit that the detractors say. None of that is true, you know? But this is the thing, that's what I'm saying, like, they won't ever have evidence. They won't ever be able to say, oh, here's a video. Well, that video is a detractor saying that I was being bad and then taking an out-of-reference clip that doesn't actually prove anything. But that's their evidence, and in their mind, it just becomes this mob mentality. This is true. And it seems like that's what happened on the internet with me was it wasn't anything that I 100% ever said or did that completely turned everyone on me. It was that This Is How You Don't Play became popular on YouTube, and it became the popular thing to make fun of me by any means necessary to get a laugh or to get popularity, and everyone moved along with this movement, right? Like, and I hate to say it again, there's other streamers who people regularly tell me, oh, I can reference this thing the streamer did that's absolutely ludicrous, over the top, that's why everyone hates that streamer. Okay, but what about me? Oh, well, it's just the usual things. You're a scammer, you're this or that. I'm like, yeah, but where's the evidence? There's no evidence because none of it's fucking true. The things that people hate me for are untrue. It would be one thing if you say, okay, I hate Phil because back in the day, he used to do over-the-top sexual references that were sexist, and I feel that that's very immature. Fine, I haven't done that in 3 or 4 years, so what's your rationale now? Right? Oh, well, he's a scammer. Well, there's everything that everyone said that I was a scammer was based on the premise that somehow I was lying about money, and I actually had a ton of money, and I was just greedy and I needed more. Well, now you've seen my financials. You see how bad and what dire straits I'm in, and then I'm actually in insane debt, and everything that I've said over the years has been true. So, what's your rationale now? See what I mean? But this is the thing. Whenever people say they don't like Darkside Phil, they bring up these generalized things, then you call them out and say, well, what's your evidence or what's your proof of what you're saying? Because it sounds like bullshit, and then they move the goalpost to the next thing, Because in reality, these people don't dislike me. In reality, these people like the idea of disliking me. They don't genuinely hate me. They actually want to be a part of this movement where everyone hates me together so that they can feel like a piece of something that's a big movement. It's the right thing, the cool thing, the funny thing to do to hate on Darkside Phil rather than actually having a legit reason to hate on Darkside Phil. You see? Or else how could you have someone like this kid who was a fan of mine, a genuine fan, years later with no contact with this kid, now he hates me? It's like, what? Does it even make any logical sense? Of course not. A logical mind doesn't act like that. A logical mind is very analytical. You want evidence. You want proof. You don't believe every conspiracy. You don't jump on every funny viral video to make fun of someone. Instead, you give someone the benefit of the doubt. You give them a chance. You actually watch the content for face value. Instead of saying, oh man, Phil said that Kobe Bryant's death is the same as the game save corrupting, you're actually there for the stream where we had a really honorable discussion about the achievements of Kobe Bryant as a good person and the good things that he's done. And the fact that him passing away in the way that he did so early in his life was an incredible loss to humanity, and never did I ever compare the two as the same thing. But that's what I mean, like, you actually have to believe that and not just say, oh, no, he just did it, I just believe it because I want to believe the negative about Phil. I don't think there's anything that I ever said or did that actually caused the hate against me. I think it was that viral movement of popularity on YouTube. It became the popular thing to hate Phil, and that's what it always is. It's never Phil keeps doing things to piss people off. It's people just keep fabricating things to make people feel justified in hating Phil because the movement continues, because people continue to get popularity from it. That's all I could think of, though. Like, because again, I'll admit in the past I made many mistakes. All the things I said and did, the racist jokes and insults to game developers and stuff. That hasn't happened in so long. I've outright come out and apologized a million times saying, man, I really know that the stuff that I did back then was wrong. You know? So what else do you want from me? Is it just that you're just never going to forgive me or believe that I've changed? So basically it doesn't ever matter if I ever improve. I'm always fucked, right? How is that fair? How is that giving anyone a real chance? You know what I mean? So because I made mistakes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, that's it? I'm just a laughingstock of the internet forever because you just fucking won't grow up and give me a chance and actually check this stuff out and see that I have changed, that I haven't been lying to you about the horrible things that have been going on in my life behind the scenes because of those trolling and the fucked up things people have done to me over the years. Like, I've been truthful about all of that, but people just don't want to fucking believe it. And I can't make someone believe anything, especially now the facts are in front of their face and people are still saying that I'm a liar. It's like, there's nothing else I can do to prove anything to you. You know, everything is out there. Everything is exposed. And, you know, there's no way I'm going to change any of this shit. So, no, I don't ever feel that there's anything that like, oh my God, it's because Phil did this. This is why the trolls came after him or whatever. No, it's because people found that there's this viral popularity in being toxic, in being negative, in being drama-filled, and being basically ruining other people's lives at the expense of a laugh or your own popularity on YouTube. People figured this out. I was one of the very first test cases of it. And people don't want to take responsibility for the fact that those viral videos basically made me into a living joke rather than someone who was like the ultimate underdog of game creation content on YouTube. And now my life is fucked permanently because of it. You know? Again, not saying I never made any mistakes. Absolutely I did. But you have to acknowledge that people going in there and actively violating the law to impersonate people illegally and give false copyright strikes and destroying my income for 2 fucking years have to somehow contribute to the fact that I'm in the position that I'm in right now. Yes, I made terrible decisions, but it wasn't 100% me. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to just, again, going along with the meme, it's all on Phil. Phil's the laughing stock. Phil's the joke. Phil made all the mistakes. Phil did everything. It's fucked up stuff. It's messed up because it's almost like cancel culture before cancel culture existed. You know what I mean? Like, I was the test case for cancel culture. Let's make Phil the laughing stock of YouTube. Almost overnight. It almost happened overnight because I was hyper popular, and then all the next thing you know, this is how you don't play hits. And now all of a sudden, within 2 years, I'm a joke, and everyone's making fun of me, and everyone wants to laugh at me and say I'm a villain. And like I said, longtime fans like this kid who I had met at a convention years ago, all of a sudden becomes my biggest hater. It's like, I don't even understand it. The Ming Qing Chinese rant you made, or the German guy talking about Jews, you're right. Back then, you loved Howard Stern, you didn't find that stuff racist or offensive, but now not so much. It's good you're trying to lead the younger audience away from that horrible humor. I agree with you. Like, that kind of racial humor, back then 10 years ago, everything was fair game. No one really got offended by that stuff. Like, you're right, that was Howard Stern-esque comedy. And that's what I was going for. And people loved it. Every once in a while, there'd be someone who would be offended, but it wasn't the majority. The majority of people were with me and loved it. Then all of a sudden, somehow there was a flip, and now people want to reference stuff I did 10 years ago that was popular. It's like I'm the devil. It's like, what the fuck? Well, people loved it back then. And now all of a sudden, I'm evil because I did that stuff in the past. It's like crazy thinking that way, but that's how it is right now, you know? Goofball tipped me $2, said, with all the time I've been around your content, I think people don't like your sense of humor. You know, again, you might be right. If you're talking the old school stuff, I can't imagine today, in the modern era, that people find my sense of humor offensive. Like, what about my sense of humor today would you find offensive? I almost do nothing offensive at all. You know, I don't make any kind of offensive references anymore. So they were only staying there for a limited period of time anyway before they went to Puerto Vallarta or Puerto Locos Tacos. Nachos, Doritos. Yes. That was a major change I had to make over time. And I don't know how you could find what I do offensive, quite frankly. You know, what do I do on a daily basis that's offensive? People try to get me, goad me, or trick me into saying things that are offensive to get me banned from Twitch. But I don't know what you could be saying I could be doing that's offensive, you know, in 2020. You lost me there. People insult me every single day a million times, right? All I do is defend myself. So, if you're saying I shouldn't call him an idiot or a moron, okay, what should I just do? Say, gee, thanks for insulting me. You're really mean. And, you know, at least if you strike back, at least it doesn't feel like you're trying to be victim complex constantly, because I'm not. You know, I understand if people constantly attack me or whatever. I'm not trying to do a victim complex here or anything. I'm not super thin-skinned Phil where I can't take an insult. But at the same time, I should have the right to defend myself. So I don't know why you think that if someone outright insults me, why I can't go back and call them exactly what they are. You know, are we really in this pussy-ass society in 2020 that you can't even just rationally defend yourself from this kind of behavior? I don't think so.